Και από τώρα μιλάς αγγλικά, να ξέρεις. Είσαι εδώ, Bill.
Hello, hello.
Okay. Give me 1 second. By the way, μαλακά ψηφίσανε 7 ημέρη κατάληψη στη σχολή μου, what the fuck.
What the fuck.
Ξέρω τι φάση.
Προετοιμασία για YSS Bologna, λέει.
True. Ωραία. Κάτσε να μπουν λίγα άτομα. Mic check, hello. 1 2 1 2. By the way, I should probably have you a bit lower.
Okay.
Can you talk?
Yeah. Brand best deck.
Brand best deck.
Brand best deck.
Okay, ας αρχίσουμε και θα μπουν.
Mhm.
Άρα θα είναι και το intro για το βίντεο αυτό.
Okay.
Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're here with Vasilis Tsibloulis, who wanted us to showcase this matchup in YSS Pittsburgh. And we see Sean Killian playing Branded, and he kinda wanted to discuss about the gameplay. So we'll do just that. Hello, Bill.
Hello, Manos. Thank you for having me. So basically, it was a very interesting weekend for YCS Pittsburgh, and with the Greek, the France Open also. And it was very interesting to see how the meta developed. And it was pretty much something that most people expected, that Dracotail was going to be performing very well, and Yamimitsu was going to be performing very well. But again, in this matchup, we see like two different decks. We see Malice at Ignister, which was also considered to be one of the best decks of the format, and we also see the Brand Despia. And the main reason why I wanted to have and showcase this video is because, like, the Sean Killian, which is a very well-known player, he really played it badly. Like,
Spoiler alert.
yeah, he did many mistakes, many misplays, and this one ultimately cost him like the win in the match, I would say. And okay, I don't know if you've seen the VOD or those who have, but it's really interesting and really sad. Like, he wins the dice roll, okay, which is a very good thing, especially versus Malice. And also you don't know what your opponent plays. But the sad thing is that he breaks. He has in his hands like Quem, Albaz, Mercurier, Ruler, and Saronir. And these 5 cards obviously do nothing. And I mean, you need to understand when your hand does nothing. The hand does nothing because he has Ruler, which it was okay versus Yamimitsu, but it is terribly going first and in every other matchup, because most decks don't end on endboard pieces, they end on back row pieces currently, like Dracotail, for example. So it was a misplay on deck building to having the Ruler there. He should have a Droplet or Super Poly. and usually Super Poly is the better choice, as said in the masterclass, because it's also a good defense option. Because in this exact scenario where he has Albas in the hand, Albas and Super Poly is like 5 or 6 interruptions, and with Mercurian hand and Saronir, it's like 7 or 8. So having that when you're bricked, it's
You're
fine.
bricked.
Good.
Okay, although I don't think he's not playing Super Poly, I just think he just didn't draw it. Also, do you think it's correct to send Cartesia with if you're passing with Quem? Don't you want to send Albas or something, even if you have Albas in hand?
Um, because he has Albas in hand, it is the correct play to send Cartesia, because when you do Quem to summon back and you summon back Cartesia, it plays better into Ogre Cartesia, while Albas is not. And ultimately, when you go Cartesia, Quem bring back Cartesia, Cartesia effect, you make Guignol, Guignol sends Rimbram, and with Cartesia you use Albas. So you still have the Rimbram Albas, but you also have the Guignol. So it is the same thing, but you have the add one for in the end phase and the Guignol to tag out, which is crucial when you're bricked, right? Because you need to stall the game, you need to take a turn. And we're gonna see that here he does that, he does the same play. And I think he's getting stopped, if I remember correctly, with Mirror. And it is a tough one. Okay, it's not an easy plan, an easy game. Here he can make the read that he can Saronir and banish the Chessie, so he doesn't have a Malice to negate. If I remember correctly, you have to banish first, but he also has the hair in hand, so it doesn't really matter.
I think the spell only banishes from field in hand, not the graveyard.
Oh, okay. Okay. Maybe then it's irrelevant, right? Because now you're getting stopped. You don't have anything else. You have 4 cards in hand, which is Alba, Saro, Merc, and Ruler, and the top deck. And you see your opponent going full Malice combo. Like, this is the second. This is actually the first big misplay of Son. It is he doesn't scoop. Here you have to scoop.
Yeah, for time, right? Because the match is gonna
For
take
time.
too long. Yeah, especially if you're playing branded.
Yeah, because even if you go game 2, you combo in 5 minutes, and your opponent scoops in another 5. Game 3, your opponent, after siding, you're gonna waste like another 15 minutes, so you're already down to 30 minutes on the clock. Game 3, if your opponent plays his whole turn, which is so long, it is like 15 minutes, and then you try to break that board, and then stop him from his follow-up, you need like 25-30 minutes. So he's already misplaying right here, because he's staying here. Like, what is the top deck that he can have to overcome the end board? And if you see, he's playing this up to 35-36 minutes on the timer. So he's wasting a full 10 minutes for no reason. Like, a Saronir is not gonna cut it. He will not get a turn with a Saronir. And even if he gets removed, Saronir later on, with like Albas, Merc and Ruler, you can't do anything much. Even if your opponent is the worst player in the world, he will have enough negates to stop you. So it's pretty bad to do that. And this is something that all brand players should know. You should know when to scoop. This is an unwinnable game state. Or even if it's winnable, it is in like 0.001% of the games you're gonna win this. So there is no point in sitting here.
To be fair, maybe he was playing around that his opponent is a bad player, maybe because it's round 2, and he does have a bestial, which can get him into retribution in the graveyard, I guess. Like, obviously that doesn't save him, but just trying to go into his mindset. Maybe because we also saw the link, what's called disciple or something. He wants.
We think he's a bad player.
I don't know, maybe he wants to see the combo, I guess, because I haven't seen the new Malice combo, I guess, with Disciple, because I don't think they're also playing Devotee with the Disciple combo, because Devotee locks you from Link 3s, and the whole
it's only
Malice...
the Link 1.
Yeah. I mean, okay, but that game didn't last very long, so I don't think he missed. I mean, obviously it's not good to waste a lot of time if you're losing 100%, but he does have a dark ruler maybe, and if he top decks a branded fusion, maybe he can win.
Okay,
But
so ruler, brand fusion, and Albas with Merc. You have two pushes and a ruler.
yeah,
And your opponent is playing Malice, so you know he plays as an Impulse 100% of the time. As Impulse on the Malice deck after he draws like twice with Chessie with 7-8 cards in hand, after he draws with the binder, it is guaranteed that he will have an As or Impulse in the hand. It is like a 92% chance.
I mean, okay, but he still has a percentage chance to win. So, I mean, if you have a chance to win, you don't give up. I think, especially in the
No, you don't
YCS.
give up, but you always have the game 3 also, and game 3 is also important to play it. And since you see that statistically you will lose game 1, you should scoop it and go play game 3, because game 2, yes, you can get a couple ham traps, but still you should be able to win it because you play a heavy engine. But you will need the time, because here, game 3 you also don't have such bullshit cards in the deck. You side out, you have more charmies or more breakers. So statistically it is a better game to be played, because your opponent already has the hate for you in the main deck. He already has the Bestial, the Bell, the Ass, the Impulse. There is nothing else he can really side in for you. And yeah, as you can see, like, look at the time. We are already 3 minutes in. He's resolving Sarner, which is like irrelevant. Okay, send Retry or High Spirits, it doesn't really matter. Like, you ain't getting a turn after that with 4 cards in hand.
Yeah. And he sent high spirits. I don't think high spirits is the correct choice because you don't have a way to go into fusion, right? While
You don't have right now, but theoretically this is the correct play because your opponent still will do white binder, and white binder will banish. And you don't want your opponent to banish your retry. You prefer to banish your not so impactful cards, and many people will leave high spirits in the grave. Will leave like an Albaz or an opening in the grave. But the retribution, it will be definitely banished. So it is correct to send that there, because you cannot really disrespect your opponent fully. Like, yeah, he may be bad, he may missed lethal or was playing around Nibiru, but he still plays versus branded. He knows that there is no more hand traps. So yeah, his opponent is bad. We can agree on that. But still,
can we?
this doesn't.
What did he do? What did he do?
I mean, he popped Quem, so he was volatile to Fuga afterwards. He didn't kill his opponent. Like, it's branded. The only thing that he may have in terms of hand trap, it might be a Saronir or a Magna. So just make more bodies.
Maybe that's why he killed the coin, because he wanted to go for game with Axe Code.
Yeah, he could have made more links
Also
first.
he wanted to trigger Ransom. Maybe he was playing around that Son is a bad player and he plays Nib. Maybe because to be fair, we don't know that just from Quem. He plays pure branded. He could be playing Dracotail. That means he could also play some Nibiru. So I guess he wanted to play around that.
He could, but at that point, you also, like, when you go into main and you don't pop Quem and you just beat over it, because he has the Impulse in hand, if you've seen Elbert.
Yeah, I
So
did.
since he has the Impulse, it is a misplay to pop Quem there, because now you're volatile to Fuga, you're volatile to Nibiru, while before you weren't, because he had Quem on the field. You could just destroy in the battle phase or banish it with MTPO 7.
I see.
It is a small play, but here, look, he's like 39 minutes. 6-7 minutes have passed where he doesn't do anything. Sun is just watching his opponent comboing off, and he's like, whatever. And he has a ruler, an albus, and a mercury in hand. Like you can see him on the camera, he's lost. He's looking elsewhere because he knows there's no chance of winning this game. So why are you still sitting there? Why are you like? It is a misplay. It is.
I don't know. Maybe like in his head, maybe his opponent doesn't have the Azure Impulse. We know he does, but maybe the only chance of winning is top deck Brand Fusion into Dark Ruler resolving. I don't know. Like as long as there is even an 8% chance to win, otherwise yes.
Thing is though that even if that happens, he doesn't win, right? Because
Yeah,
okay, let's say
realistically,
you
realistically he
ruler
doesn't. He
the
doesn't.
field,
Yeah.
so the bounce doesn't happen with firewall. The link 5 doesn't have the negate. Okay, cool. Albaz baits the MTP to banish, so also that doesn't happen. Still though, you have the opponent has hair in hand, an unknown set which he can assume is GWC or TB11. So you know still that whenever Binder leaves the field, he can just revive it back with 06, or he can even tribute it with his own monster as tribute cost, even though he's under ruler, and get back the Binder, and Binder just banishes the important things from the grave, so even Brand Fusion doesn't do enough. And he top decks Brand Fusion, which is okay.
He actually
Cool.
top decks Brand Fusion. Wow.
Yeah, but still, you say, okay, here is ruler, whatever.
Yeah.
He has 2 pushes, Albaz and Brand Fusion. And his opponent has like 4 sets. It's unwinnable.
I just told you it's the hope. He just hopes.
Yeah, but that hope costs the game later on. It cost the game 3, and that's the sad thing. Because game 3, he had a hand that could play that. He had a hand that could win that. While now in game 1, he wasted 10 minutes without having a hand that could win that. Now he's just stalling. Like, okay, here it's on 36 minutes, right? Why he's even trying the Albas? He knows his opponent has the 07. He has set it with the Binder. So it's like, even like that, it's another 30-40 seconds of wasted time. Anyway, let's go see now the game 2, because we see many misplays on how to sequence, which, by the way, you can all avoid on how to sequence and play properly by getting the masterclass, but that's another story.
Sell out on my stream.
Yep, sell out.
Win the Wisest first, and then we will get it. So should I like do the thing that some streamers do and bet that they will go bold if you win the Wisest? And that for some reason that always happens.
I mean, you don't have much hair. To be honest, it doesn't really matter.
I mean, I did. I just cut it right now.
Okay, so right now we see that he's going game 2 with 33 minutes on the clock. That is already too low.
Yeah, that's
for
tough.
Game 3.
That's tough. Yeah.
Okay, and in his opening hand, we cannot say it right now because he's shuffling. He has Deployment, Aluber, Albaz, and 2 W Brand Fusion. And in this case, you have 2 options. You either start with Deployment for Cartesia, and then you normal Aluber, or you normal Aluber in order to bait Veiler Imperm, because you already have Brand Fusion, and you don't care. And so in hopes to see what your opponent will do to you. So you check out like hand traps. So you know Guignol will pass, so you have your backup plan is already guaranteed if you do the opposite. Anyway, he does the deployment here, which is fine. It is acceptable, right? It's not that crazy. It's not that wrong. He gets the Guignol out, and here is the first big. It is like the third big misplay of Son. You're gonna say it in a moment. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" I don't know if you've seen the stream or the match, Manos, but
I didn't actually. I was playing Magic the Gathering at that time.
okay. Here, instead of going normal summon Aluber effect, he goes Brand Fusion.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah. That is huge. Yeah. I understand.
And
Yeah.
put a pause here. Put a pause. Here, his opponent goes to Delta, right? And this, if he played it correctly, would be a golden opportunity for
Yeah.
Son. Because you would chain Cartesia to make Guignol. So on summon, you would have your opponent special summoning a monster. So Guignol would trigger both effects. So she would both send and she would tag out. So he would have access to Quem. Quem can send Retry to get back Brand Fusion. But he already has Brand Fusion in hand, so he doesn't care about that. So he can just send Retry. And also he can send with Guignol, which can be Titan, Albion, Garura to draw. So many good cards, right? Much of advantage.
To be fair,
But
now Aluber is gonna come in handy because he can search the second one.
Oh no, he already has a second one in hand, the Brand Fusion. And even if that was the case, he would just when tagging to Quem send Retry get back Brand Fusion. So he still has access to double Brand Fusion through that. Obviously his opponent is bad, but yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, if you have Gamma and you play against Branded and they have Cartesia, do you even activate Gamma? Delta, I mean.
It's pretty bad. Like, okay, whatever. Like here, if your opponent had the Imperm Veiler, you would prefer not to have Cartesia, so Aluber gets hit with Imperm Veiler, so Cartesia can do whatever afterwards and go to Guignol. But in the opposite, it's like whatever. Like here, Aluber can search High Spirits because he has Albas in hand. High Spirits for Albas to get Kit or Shrouded to dump. So he would have access to a Brand Spell Trap, to Brand Fusion, to Quem, Guignol to draw, and he would have +2 draws right now. And his opponent has Delta and Driver on field. So Thrust would take talents, look at hand, remove Ash or Impulse, and just say to his opponent, okay, you lose. But here he gets opening. Or opening, he already had access with opening to Quem from Cartesia into Guignol. Like, why is he doing that? Like, it's just bad. It's just wrong.
Oh,
Like,
I guess that's why he activated Delta. He had Impulse.
yeah, okay, whatever. His opponent is Ooga Booga. Okay, you don't care about that. He's just throwing hand traps. Still, he would have in the same position. He would have a spell trap. His opponent has monsters on field, so End-Phase Titan can make Albion into Jade. Plus you have Quem, so you still get Cartesia back. So he can end on Quem, Cartesia, Mirror Jade, the spell trap from Albion, plus the spell trap that you search from Retry and the Grave and the Shrouded, plus 2 more cards in hand. Well, now he's just going minus for no reason. Like, he just wasted 2 cards for the same thing that he could have and be a +2. So he has went by himself -4, and this is like major misplays. Like, you should not be doing that when playing Branded. Your deck will not forgive you for doing that. Like, your opponent must be playing either really bad or a really bad deck in order to forgive this kind of misplays and this kind of advantage loss.
Yeah, we went clean.
Yeah.
Do you know the reference?
I don't even remember what he sends. It's something irrelevant. And he's doing I think he sent a Retry, and then now he's gonna do another misplay. Because now he has no cards in hand. So this is his entire hand. He lost to Delta Impulse with his hand.
Wow. Yeah.
Like,
was there an argument?
Hmm?
Obviously, if he played correctly, obviously he wouldn't have to search opening. But even if he didn't normal Aluber before Brafu, do you think he should went for, I don't know, maybe Fallen Virtues?
From the tag outs of Quem and
No,
Guignol,
from Aluber. to get an extra
Yeah,
fusion.
it's fine. Whichever of the two spells you search, it's fine. Both of them generate the same amount of advantage. Because you have a dark in hand, it generates a little bit more the quick play, the high spirits, and you also have that on rotation. Compared to the quick play, the fall and the virtues, which generates that advantage, but you don't get the +1. So you want the +1 on your opponent's end phase with high spirits.
Are we sure, by the way, that this is Sean Killen, like the Sean Killen? Because guys like him play the deck for, like, actually test pretty well. So playing branded at such low level, I think maybe it's not him. Like it's another Sean K. Like I don't know, because I think this is a huge misplay. When you have Fusion Deployment and Aluber since 2022, you are doing the same line. Cartesian normal Aluber, 100%. So I don't know.
I mean, there are some exceptions to that because there are some higher level lines that require first Aluber and then deployment. But yes, I get what you mean because you also play better under Fuga because he has Albas in hand. So if you normal Aluber effect and it goes fine, then he activates and gets high spirit. Then he activates deployment and then Fuga checks his opponent. His opponent will not Fuga, and then you go okay. If his opponent Fuga, he goes chain high spirits, send Albas, get Cartesia to hand, and special summon Cartesia from hand. So one less draw to his opponent while still generating the same amount of value and advantage. No, he's just doing bullshit things. And instead of playing with the Quem getting back Cartesia in the end phase, he's wasting his retribution for no reason. And yeah, it's just sad what I'm saying. But I think it is the one. Because in the beginning, unless it is the same name and last name, in the beginning it said it's only Killian. So it's... I doubt it is the... And usually in the first rounds also of the YCS they put famous people on quotes.
Maybe it's just the decks, like because it's Malice, Despia. It's not the top tier decks.
Maybe to have a diversity on that.
Did anyone else play Brand on stream?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you see how people play Branded, how could they, right? How could they play on stream? With what record?
It's that bad, right? Wow.
I mean, you have to play correctly. And this showcases perfectly that even a good player can play badly. And if he's not sure. Like, okay, cool. He finishes on Quem Cartesia Mirror Jade with Guignol. But he could have had like twice the end board on that.
Yeah, I think even if he didn't normal Aluber, if he went for Fallen, he would end on both fusions in the graveyard, meaning he would get at least one extra interruption. Either that being Banishment or Fallen.
I mean, yeah, even Fallen right now on the Malice deck, it is very good because you deny him the link 1 access to have the extenders and the bodies. So even if he starts with Dormos, just pop it. And then he has to special summon it from the banish, and then Mirror Jet can deal with Dormos forever. And so on. So it's like... Now he's even wasting his Mirror Jet effect. In the end phase.
He did that for just a driver and to get Albion, I guess?
To get Mercurier, he sends the new guy, so
oh,
he's
no.
like, okay.
Oh no.
It's like, whatever.
I mean, if you're gonna do something, do not add the Mercurier here. Yeah, Beastel GG. Okay, yeah.
It's like, okay, his hand right now on the field, he streamlined all his interruptions to one play, which is Cartesia effect. If Cartesia right now gets like a Chalice in the draw phase, Imperm in the draw phase, he's just watching the opponent play again.
Does he at least activate Graginol to go for Queritis?
No. From what we've seen from the extra deck when he was shuffling, he's playing many random bullshit monsters.
He's playing Sanctifier. Do you think he's playing the lock side deck?
He's playing Sanctifier, Lenatus, Stapelia, There is no way he plays any of the Despia fusions, which is like crazy. They are insane fusions, especially in game states like this. They can really give you protection and survivability. It is just bad, and the Sanctifier is bad also, and the locks are bad. But like the main meta deck of the main deck of the format, which is Brand Dragontail, plays the quick plays, plays Us, plays Bell, plays Bestials. Like you saw the winning deck list, it has 3 Bestials, 2 quick plays, Us, Bell. So he has like 11 cards that immediately stop the puppet lock.
Yeah. And Droplet is in the format as well.
Yeah,
And also obviously call by.
yeah. I mean, just say the obvious ones. Like, look at this. He now
Okay,
starts
but
with
I
backup.
think not playing Quaretis is actually suicide. Like, in what universe are you not playing Quaretis?
It is bad. It is bad. And in order to play all these random fusions that he's playing, like the structure deck fusions,
Okay, maybe
he's
he did it,
definitely.
maybe he did the challenge. Play with 3 structure deck plus a Sanctifier.
Yeah, but why is he playing bad though? No, he has chaos inside, so it doesn't matter. And he also plays Tapelia, which I think it was not in the structure deck.
Yeah, it was not.
Like, I don't like. Son was playing Malice, he in the previous formats, so it was like, what the fuck is he doing right now?
Maybe he's not used in a deck that doesn't have 3 hand traps every turn.
Like, here you see your opponent, he goes normal backup, gets Dormouse, sends Dormouse. From that you understand that he has a way to banish Dormouse. And it's either Lizardos, which obviously he has access to right now, or he has like a hare in hand, or a bestial in hand.
And he has nothing in hand, right?
Yeah, he has nothing. So even if he wants to do Rimbram into Albas, he doesn't have a card to discard.
Yeah.
So his Guignol effect his second Guignol effect must be Garura. Because he has already wasted Retribution. But I don't even know if he plays a second Grand Guignol.
Can you imagine not playing 2 Granuel?
I mean, people are playing bullshit cards all around, so. Yeah, I mean, he didn't do a Luber effect like first thing or second thing of the turn. He did Brand Fusion for no reason. Like, he can't be playing like only one Guignol. He may also play only one Quem. I don't know what he's playing, but he's playing wrong.
I hope I play against brand players like this in Bologna.
I mean, it would be a breeze, right? You have like 15 rounds of this. It's paradise.
Yeah. Also, are you sending Gragignol to the graveyard instead of Albion?
It,
I
listen,
guess he wants chunk blocks, I guess. Just to not get OTK'd, but against Malice.
against Malice that body spams that can. Like, Guignol will trigger theoretically, or should have triggered theoretically, but it doesn't, so it's like whatever. Like, at this point, he's just misplaying. It's like everything is misplay.
Yeah, especially if he plays only one. Now you're playing into a Bestial, into SP. Uh, he also the opponent tries to banish Dracotail.
He also
While,
plays into call by right now.
yeah, that's true. But realistically, you would call by Mirror Jet. And now we have. Is it backup in hand? Or Marcher? I guess Marcher, yeah.
It's here. Like, the only reason right now he might be winning is because his opponent has like a very bad hand.
Yeah.
Like, he had to start with backup, and yeah, it's just sad. And the other card in the hand is Jessica. So if he had like one extender, he would just lose the game.
He does not trigger Gragnel here, so he doesn't play. He doesn't play Quaritis. I think I saw a second Gragnel. And he doesn't summon Quem to send high spirits.
No, he's not generating advantage. It's like he's handicapping himself. He's like, no, I will not play branded correctly. I will just do misplays. And you also, for the other fact, you see why I told you that he had to scoop earlier. Look at the timer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Game one, when he passed, was just that long. Like how many minutes there are left.
It was on 36. They started the side deck. 33. The game 2 started.
Yeah, so it was 12 minutes.
It
No,
was
it was
15 minutes.
yeah,
15 to 16 minutes.
They went it up to 50. I forgot. But
Yeah.
yeah, too much.
And now the misplay from game 1, which is the not scooping earlier, will come bite him right now because just see, like, his opponent is playing uninterrupted, right? And if you don't open Fuga Meowls, he's playing uninterrupted. And realistically, in 50 or 60 cards, whatever he's playing, it's just too much. It's not. Usually, you will not have the hand trap. He also plays. No, it's his opponent's deck. Okay.
Does he go on time eventually?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
He scoops with like 20 seconds on the timer because he opens a good hand, right? He opens a playable good going second hand, and he loses because he did the misplays in the start. So it's like it's one mistake can hinder you your whole match, and that's the problem with branded. It's that it doesn't forgive. It's too demanding. Like his opponent starts with the worst starter theoretically of his deck, which is the field spell, and it just combos off completely. And we can see his hand, he has like Lubellion, Sorrow, and I think it's a Luber and one spell, I don't remember what it was. But here we can see just the full Malice combo. And his opponent is even playing at a relatively good pace, so it's not even that he's slow.
Is he breaking the
I mean,
board? Is he breaking the board in game 3?
he could have if he had more time and played more correctly, but
I had
because
this situation at locals where one brand guy was playing against Lunalight, and the Lunalight player played under double Fuga of the brand player and intended on double Liger and SP, I think. But the brand player started his turn with like 16 cards in hand. Okay, give me 1 second. I will be back. Yeah, I'm so sorry about that. So I had a situation at locals where the brand player was playing against Luna, and the Luna player played under double Fuga, and he ended on 2 Liger, but the game was still like they went to time and they got a double loss, but the brand player had a way to break the board eventually, but the game had to be played out for like 20 minutes or something if it was about to go off. And I was wondering, in these situations, who is supposed to scoop? Because realistically, the Lunalight player has the upper hand, but if the brand player plays it correctly over a big amount of time, he should win. He should break the board because he is playing Titanic Lad to out Liger. So, if you were that guy at the YCS and you had 10 seconds on the clock, who is supposed to scoop, if any?
Um, It is a weird situation, right? And you always don't want to scoop, but in the end, you should scoop if you. It's better to scoop than not scooping, eventually, in the worst case scenario. Like you should debate a little bit with your opponent, like a notch. You should have create good friendly relation with your opponent at the start of the game, like asking like how's his tournament is going, stuff like that, in order to have a better chance of your opponent actually understanding if you're winning or losing and scooping, so he doesn't hinder both of your performances. Like if you're at the point where you have like the full end board and your opponent has like two cards and you go to time, your opponent should scoop, and not doing that is just wrong and bad play for both of you. And that's something that you should actually kind of maybe not discuss it, but kind of imply it to your opponent when playing. Like, in case we go to time, like, what would we do? Like, how do you want to solve this? How do you want to um, decide the outcome? Wanna roll a dice? Want to roll two dice? Wanna roll? And the most fair thing that I've seen is that like I was up game one and we're playing game two and we finished time on game two. It's like a very rare occasion. And my opponent goes, okay, do you wanna throw dice? And if I win the dice, I get the match. But if my opponent wins, then he basically gets game two, and then we throw another dice for game three. So it still plays a factor of the game. So it's not like, okay, I won game one and it's irrelevant, right? It's just, I don't think it's gonna be the perfect solution, and definitely not for everyone. Also, we can see thrust in Sean Killian's hand.
Yeah, I try to.
And
Yeah. I was just wondering for the Wises because I find sometimes myself into situations where, yes, I have to break a big board, but I think I can do it, especially if my opponent misplays. But my opponent thinks his board is unbreakable for some reason. Um, and we go on time, let's say, which obviously I will try not to go into. But if that happens, how do I like convince him to scoop? Because I say, okay, I can do that, and you're probably gonna do that, and then I win. But if you show him his hand, he's gonna say, oh yeah, but now, obviously, he's not gonna say now that I know the information, but realistically, now that he knows what you have in your hand, he's gonna play it differently. Uh, in his theoretical scenario. So how do you solve such
it's
a
weird.
situation, especially
It,
with not a big amount of time? Because I don't want to scoop. I think I can break the board. I deserve the win. If that's my mindset at the time. Also,
sometimes,
do you call bet at Lubelin here?
I mean, the call by targets are either that or a fusion in the grave. And because, like, you don't care about tragedy, you don't care about shrouded, you don't care about an albaz, because your opponent probably has another way to bring it back. So even if you, it's one of the best call buys theoretically you can do, because this can also force you right now. Like, if his opponent is smart enough, he can go. Let's say if he has Saronir and Super Poly, he can go Saronir, banish the Crypter a summon bag from a her effect, because your opponent is like, why would he do that? Or may not banish it, and then just play into a GWC. So his GWC is now forced to summon back Crypter, or he can just Super Poly on the summon and remove the bodies completely off for
Yeah.
the rest of the game.
Also, don't you wanna Saro before deployment right now to force the Crypter and go for thrust? Like showing
That would be,
deployment.
yeah,
I
like
I don't know.
like I mean, the only problem is that there is also the highlight code on the field, right? Within the
Yeah,
game.
but you're gonna do what? You're gonna negate Beastal with alert code.
No, I mean, your thrust, whatever he gets, it's not gonna go through. And because you have already shown your opponent to play ruler, he's gonna negate the thrust. Also, the opponent here just does misplays, like here, Son. Like, put a pause here, and in the video, you've seen that he shot Granguignol, and his opponent has activated the GWC, which is the most impactful interruption that he has on his board right now, the Malice player, and he summoned Rabbit, and the Rabbit obviously will do her effect. So if you summon Albas here and you go Albas effect, your opponent immediately loses Rabbit access, so empty PO7 access, in order to stop your Albas effect. Because, I mean, also there's Firewall, but I'm not sure. Has Firewall done the effect already or no? Because I'm not paying attention.
I don't think he did. Also,
Um,
did he show Granguignol? Because that's not a cost. If he showed.
yeah, it's on resolution, but he shown it.
Oh, wow. Well,
But yeah, well, I mean, this right now loses to a single Super Poly, the end board, if he had it, or the optimal line, since he now gets the Cartesia, would be to also have the Lubellion on field, to attempt the Lubellion on field. Like, if he had just done Saronir onto something, his opponent would have to call by the Lubellion in order to stop the Lost, or bounce it with Firewall, which is still like a very good trade for you because you still have the deployment for the Albas. Here we see that he goes with Tragedy, and that's okay. It's a good way to start your engine if you don't have other ways to play it, but you still have Thrust. And doing the other thing could also force your opponent. I don't know, I disagree kinda with this play, but it is what it is. He's misplaying, so it's not the first one, it's not the last one. And you can see, like, there's 5 minutes on the clock. He hasn't even went into battle phase yet.
I mean, you're not
It's-
going to battle phase with 5 minutes on the clock. You're either OTKing
Yeah, no,
or.
No, he doesn't even exit the main phase, I think. It's impossible to do that with this much time.
The,
Now,
oppo-
like,
the
look at this
opponent
also.
doesn't call by Tragedy because of the Beastal, I guess, but still. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like-
when are you callbang if not that or Lubellion?
Like, he's waiting for the fusion, but the fusions can also be dealt with the binder, while these ones are triggers on the set, so it's like they are the better cards, and definitely Lubellion for Lost or Regained. But yeah. Also, if you've seen, he takes 30 minutes to resolve the Tragedy and the Guignol effect. Like, come on, bro.
He wants to go
You
for
have
Masquerade. He wants to go Masquerade.
Like, a Luber is so easy, so you're thinking for 30-40 seconds for the Guignol. Like, come on. It's just bad.
He also doesn't call by Albion. Like, no call by at all.
Before the
Before
effect,
the, obviously, yeah, before the activation.
Yeah, I don't know what the opponent is bad. We established that already. Like, there is no way you GWC for a white rabbit. You negate with Code Talker, you send the binder in the grave, and binder banishes the rabbit. So it's like, it is so bad. It's like, that's why I really don't like watching Brandon online, because my eyes hurt.
Do you watch your own replays on stream?
I don't mind. Like, there's too few misplays. Like, there's like 2 misplays. I have like an epic one. If you want, we can show it afterwards, and the thought process behind it.
We are not, thank you. Next, we're gonna talk about Dracotail and Branded for Bologna.
Yep, sure.
He sent Rindbroom from cost. A lot of players are not using Rindbroom like first effect, the on-field effect. They're not using it at all, and I find it very useful against some matchups. Don't you?
I mean, it's a very good one. But you always like the second effect more, right?
Yeah,
For the
obviously,
revive.
but against banished dot deck, I don't think it's the best. to send here. Obviously, it's gonna get banned no matter what, but does he scoop? What happens? Firewall?
No, he.
What the fuck happened?
I have no. He firewall bounced.
Yeah, I guess he firewall bounced, but
Which firewall bouncing Rimbram is like criminal behavior. It's like, why the fuck would you do that?
because
Like, out
you
of-
have white binder, why did you? Okay, yeah, I don't understand. He's
Like-
gonna ask Blossom that.
He also has no, he has done. I mean, will he? Because why does he care about the field? It's irrelevant to monsters. Like a ruler doesn't do anything. Here, Duster would be nice, but
Evenly would be nice.
evenly would be perfect. Although he already has access to Brand Fusion. Like before showcasing Thrust, he should have went the Saronir
Yeah, that's true.
in order to get that and Thrust get the impactful play to actually play around the Ash Blossom by getting talents, Secret Hand, remove the Ash Blossom, etc. But obviously he doesn't do it. I don't know why he doesn't do it.
Maybe because of time, he wants to either OTK or nothing. He also has Foolish. Is that Foolish in hand?
I think it's Allure.
It's a lure, and he hasn't used it so far.
It's like too dark for a card.
I mean, it is a lure of darkness.
He doesn't do Saronir effect to send in the grave. Like, just, I mean, now he's in the pressure of time, which if he cooped earlier, he would have like 30 minutes more.
Yeah. That gets him into. Oh no, that doesn't get him into Bravo because he misplayed with the Thrust, as we said.
Yeah, obviously, but he would have had access to Brand Fusion, resolving Brand Fusion.
Do they have an extension?
Just...
Do they have an extension? Because realistically, you don't have the right to concede after the time ends. So if time ends now, they should both get doubles.
They give some time. I don't know why. Did they have a judge call or something? But it says 06.
Yeah. I wish they will be as kind on our yes.
But I mean, still with 6 minutes, he has still not entered battle phase. Not main phase 2, not end phase, not his opponent's turn.
I think we established he wants to either OTK or nothing. And call him Branded Red. Yeah, never punished. Also, it was Branded Red by the way, not Allure. But why are you Branded Red here if you don't play Querities? Is he playing Garden Chimera? What the fuck?
Yeah, probably. He's playing like the bad deck lists. Why is red banished?
I have no idea.
Why is he now doing the Lubellion?
And doesn't the opponent bring Cryptor just for the Lubellion? Like, I thought that's why he used Lubellion in the first... He used March here in the first place for Cryptor. What the fuck? So now, let's say... Okay, yeah, the opponent doesn't have Super Poly, obviously. Because
but I mean, he has... Yeah. But still... It's somewhat correct to do that because if he has already lost in hand, banishing Lubellion plays into that, playing into having lost already. And now lost is theoretically gone forever unless you play Kit and you search it with Kit. And yeah, like he has 2 cards in hand and the one is the quick play. He has no actual fusions in the grave.
Yeah, he can...
No one...
Yeah, he can go the Taniklad, I guess. Into Albas.
Yeah, and his opponent has also MTPO7. Like, even still here, there is 0 window of winning. 0. the other card in hand must actually force the MTPO7. Did he say Titan or Albion? I can't see from
I
here.
think it's Titan. I'm not sure though.
What am I seeing? What the fuck am I even seeing right now?
That's why I swapped to Magic. At least there I am the bad player.
Like, the Malice player is throwing, obviously, right? He has been. Okay. Okay.
The cherry on top.
Fair enough. Okay, but still, though, talents look at hand, rip the Ash Blossom, see the Magna, play around the Magna, But yeah, some people disagree with that. Some people think that winning is bad.
Damn. Okay, so they don't get to time. He just outgates him.
Yeah. There was an extension. I didn't
I
remember that, but yeah.
Okay, that's it, guys. Thank you for watching that one. Let's go and see the decklist of YSS Pittsburgh. I want to talk a bit about specifically Dracotail and Branded and how good they will be for YSS Bologna. There we go.
I mean, Branded will not be the best deck, but unless you mean Dracotail Branded.
No, I mean them
separately.
Yeah. Top 30 decklists.
Nah, if someone plans to play like Sean did, don't play Branded. Just pick another deck. Pick Stan. It's gonna be better. You're gonna have a better experience.
So let me get the decklist.
Aditya, yeah, that's one.
No, I'm not even gonna comment it on this.
I mean, yeah, that's yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a bit about the meta. We see realistically only two decks to prepare for. One thing we should note is that next YCS at Bologna is in Europe, and Europe is famous for not having combo players. What I mean by that is that, as you saw from YSS Lille, we tend to play some more control decks, and if you remember from last year's Bologna, where Finsmith Castira was invented, we see decks tend to go into a more mid-range way to beat the combo decks. Obviously, that's not the case for YSS Pittsburgh. As we see on the top cut, we see Lunalight, Yami, and Dracotail being the only top cut represented decks. I think this is a top 8 pie chart. Yep. Yeah. And this is definitely gonna affect YSS Bologna and how people are gonna prepare for that. I myself did some changes, so let's begin by commenting over the Dracotails, because that's what I am interested in. What I see is that the majority of Dracotail players are using Branded. Aditya himself did not play Fallen and the Virtues, which I think it's a bit crazy, but I guess he wants to draw more monsters than spells, which in Dracotail is not the worst idea ever. The top 4 I think did play Fallen and Virtues, I think both of them. He played 3 and he played 1. Yeah. 1, I think it's a bit too low. I think you should play at least 2 of them. Like, I don't understand why you should play 1. What do you think about it?
I mean, You also have to keep in mind that the development of this YCS was that Yamimitsu is the best deck, and people were preparing for that. So seeing that they were, you can see it on the deck list also that they were mainly preparing for that. Like the 3 quick plays are very good versus the Yami because it takes out Herald. So it's like his whole endboard is weak. He has the Fuga, the Asti Bell, the Nibiru, the Magna, which are all good hand traps versus the Yami. And at the same time, he has the 5 mana into bouncing and doing stuff like that. Having the Meowls and the Drolls in the main, still the same thing. The Purulias, all of these are good cards for the Yami Mitsu matchup.
Yeah.
And the people were preparing basically for that.
I still think Yamimitsu is gonna be the deck to beat for Wes's Bologna. I just think people are gonna be a bit more prepared. Although we did see a lot of retaliating Seas in the non-Dragontail lists. We see retaliating Sea in every list. We see Diffusor on Malice lists. So yeah. Yami Solfacor does not play retaliating Sea, but every other deck does. And to be honest, I don't think Dragontail is gonna win YCS Bologna. I hope it does. I hope it's gonna be me. But we see too much branded hate. I mean, fusion hate in general, because both branded and Dragontail, every Dragontail list wants to utilize their fusions to go for the graveyard. So how do you prepare for that as a Dragontail player? Obviously, now Dragontail is a bit on a higher note in some people. Now people are gonna put more respect to it. After obviously winning the most recent WESs, the deck is as good as its last tournament. And winning the WESs does put a lot of attention into the deck. And let's be honest, a lot of people are gonna just copy the deck list of Aditya. It's gonna be this one. One weakness the pure build has is that it plays 3 traps in the main. And why I think that's a weakness is because that increases the amount of bricks you play, while if you're being on such a low deck number, which is 41, you tend to draw this a lot. And if you play 3 of them, it's like the same ratios as playing 1 hand trap. How often do you see a hand trap? It's the same ratio on seeing a trap, which is gonna be very bad if you go second, because if you go second, I mean, myself, I play a higher ceiling list, and the only matches that I tend to lose is when I go second and draw a trap card. Now that increases a lot into the pure build, because you have more trap cards and less deck count. Which is interesting, and also you have Fallen of Albaz, and it's the one card you don't want to see in your hand almost never, because it really makes Brand Fusion that much worse. Another thing to note is that people are not playing Cartesia anymore and stuff like that, so the only ways to fusion summon are just the Dragontail cards and branded. Which I don't know if that's correct or not. Obviously, you have more chance on seeing them. And Fimena is crazy if you draw her turn 0 with a Pan or Mululu. But it's gonna be very difficult, because if I copy his list and do some test hands, which I will do later, you will see how many hands are not that good going second. And also we should note that from the matches I saw, Aditya had Fuga stuck in his hand, like every time, and when Fuga was negated, he had the second one. So that definitely played a big role in his wins, because yes, he won the YCS, but we have to note that in some match that we saw, he was normal summoning a Mululu and passing, and that Mululu might as well be Lucius, it could be another name that was not gonna help him fusion. So Mululu is fine if you get hand trap, if you go first, because you can always use him on your opponent's turn. But if he didn't open Mululu and he opened Lucius, which is more easily interactable than Mululu, or if he opened a big name, or Albas, or an extra trap card instead of the starter, this is very, very bad. Obviously, Fuga carried him a lot, and the opponents that played into it. Um, but yeah, this is what I don't like about the pure list, is that the ceiling is too low and it can easily be interrupted, don't you think?
I mean, if you don't have the brand quick play, it is such low to the ground. I think like the power level is just okay, whatever. I just have to beat a flame or a sting, and then it's like off to the races. Because like one or two hand traps are not usually enough to cut it. Obviously, he has the high impact hand traps, but you're not always gonna have them. If you get Ast and Belt on two of your traps, you're not drawing, so you're not gonna see those cards. And having the other ones, yes, it's you have a basically it's like the same as Branded Despia. You have a bigger spread and bigger variants on the hands that you will have, the different combo hands that you will be able to access, because having a bigger engine obviously gives you that advantage. Yes, here now he has more hand traps, and maybe it's also because as you said, in the USA they play more combo heavy, so it is more important for them to have the hand traps to stop the wombo combo. While here in Europe, you would not play so many board ending hand traps. Like 3 roll 3 nib is maybe too much. You would prefer the quick play, the Fallen of Albas, because that card literally says +2. Because you remove one, you send one, you get another one. So he goes +3 by having that. So because we play in the control game state, it's better to have the Fallen the Virtues for that. That's why I think we will see more of the Fallen the Virtues in the Bologna.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially in Europe, Apophis deck is pretty popular after winning YCS. And that matchup with Aditya's list, I think it's impossible to win. Fuga is useless, Droll is useless, Bell is useless, Nibiru is useless, Magnamut is useless. And they have the Cyframes, they have Shifters, they have Retaliating Seas, they have the Primate that can banish the cards, they have Apophis themselves, which can negate the spell very easily. Good grind game, and not having that Fallen of Albas really the Fallen and the Virtues, not Albas, really makes your chances worse. Because Fallen and Virtues makes that matchup pretty easy, I wanna say. Because you can dodge the Drill Beam, you can pop the Apophis Trap, which later it means that basically they cannot negate. So yeah, I think personally playing Fallen and the Virtues is mandatory, especially if you're going with a pure build. I myself have said to you guys that I'm gonna bring Dragon Mage. I don't have space for Fallen and Virtues, I need to draw my hand traps. But I tried to find space for Fallen and Virtues, and that means this card is mandatory. Almost whatever build you're gonna play. The hand traps are very good. Obviously, if you're expecting more Dracotails, maybe you should not play 3 Drolls in the main. Veiler is kinda good. We might see more Droplet for the Yami variants, because I see some Word Breaker plays here. They play Dark Ruler. That Dark Ruler might be Droplet, Double Cyclone as well. Huge respect on the Dracotail matchup for them. Because as we see, they play Double Cyclone. Yeah, almost every non-Dracotail list plays cards for Dracotail. And it's basically that. If you're not playing Dracotail, then you play cards for the Dracotail matchup. As we see, Retaliating Sea, we see Double Cyclone. I also see fucking Ice Barrier, not Ice Barrier, a Barrier statue of whatever it's called, of Torments. Yeah, of the Torrent, I get. Yeah, so even like pure Mitsu has answers for Dracotail. Obviously, the Barrier statue is not that big because we have Gulamel.
Also, we have another big development. If you see the DDD deck list, which is somewhere, he plays a very interesting card in the side deck. He was like top 32. I don't know if they ever played it.
Top
I
30.
saw it on.
I don't
I saw
see.
it on.
I don't see any DDD here.
It's okay. Yeah, I saw it on YouTube. He was playing Denko Seka.
Denko Seka is back. Hell yeah.
And and if you think about it, it is a crazy meta development because it just basically shut down the whole Dracotail engine.
And it can be good against Yami as well, against Mitsu for sure. Like against Mitsu, the whole deck is face downs. They set 4, I think. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be pretty good. I mean, Denko Seka against a Mitsu board that ended on SP and not IP to play around some hand drops potentially. Beats over SP and then full combos, which is crazy.
Yeah, unless he has like Haba on field. So you're gonna see a little bit more of Haba staying on field.
Yeah.
Because if you have Haba minus 800, Denko doesn't get over SP.
Yeah.
And like the only out for Dracotail is if you go 5 mana, chain Gulamel to pop.
I mean, a normal hand should end on 5 mana every time, so Denko Seka is not that big of a deal, but losing 5 mana this early into the turn is gonna be pretty bad. Especially if you're playing a pure build. If you're playing a pure build ending on 3 trap cards, it's gonna be pretty bad. Especially we see some lists that are not playing spheres. The first place and the fourth place did play, but one guy in top 4 did not. He just plays a SP.
I mean, he was also playing the 3 Fallen and Virtues, and he has to, right? If he plays that the 3 Fallen, he needs a little bit of the Albus Fusions, so he has to cut some of the cards. The third place list that we were seeing.
Yeah, what I want to talk about is this list with Darkened Evaporation and Lightened Evaporation. If the meta goes as I think it will go in Bologna, obviously considering YSS Pittsburgh, I think this build is gonna be just a bit better because it is a bit more grindy. If assuming you're playing Aditya's list, this list is just a bit better because Aditya is not playing Fallen Virtues. Also, Hope Harbinger is gonna be pretty good, and this list always ends on spheres, which can defeat Denko Seka if we see that being more valuable. Because as I said, Europe, they might play Apophis against Denko Seka is nothing. I really hope Denko Seka comes back, to be honest. It doesn't beat my endboard, but it is a favorite card of mine from the old days. Yeah, I see.
I think we will see a lot of Denko Seka, I think.
I hope. Yeah,
also it's in Mitsu is searchable with 7th Tachyon.
I mean, okay, but if they go second and activate Tachyon to search Denko Seka, they insta lose. We'll see.
We'll see, but it's a very interesting tech because even going first or going second, if the opponent is not prepared for it, or he may not end on Gulamel because he had an awkward hand, you know, or he get like one hand trap and he just end on the Arthalion, like it's GG, and that's crazy. Because also you cannot set, so you cannot activate the graveyard effects.
Yeah, I also expect a higher amount of Imperms and Veilers in non-Dragontail lists. Obviously, Dragontail can play just Veiler. Because of that Dragontail matchup, see how many they were. They were 11 out of top 32. We had the highest representation out of any deck. So we see Dragontail is a very easy deck to go into top cut. The skill floor is very low for Dragontail. You can perform the combo very easily. It's one of the easiest combos out there, to be honest, and it takes very little time to do it. So that means you have an advantage against some wombo combo decks going into time, because your combo is just gonna take a lot less. Which, as we saw against the replay we saw earlier, is a huge advantage to have. And it can also keep you calm playing 15 rounds. You don't wanna have to worry about time. So yeah, the decks to beat are definitely Dragontail and Mitsuyami. Potentially Solfacor Yami. I'm surprised they didn't have more tops than Mitsu.
I mean, it loses harder to Fugalos because you also have to pen summon from the extra deck, so it's like more draws. But definitely the pure Yami variant with the Link 2 and the Apophis traps is something I've seen a lot right now being tested. So I think we also will see the pure Yami. Because it has good engine, right? It has a lot of non-engine, it can stop, it can play around the Denko Seka and these cards, so it's like, it's fine, it's whatever. We will see that, and I think also we will see a lot of K9. Because it has theoretically a good matchup.
It actually doesn't. It actually might be the worst matchup ever for... it actually might be the best matchup for Dracotail. If we're talking K9, what's it called? Vanquishal. If we're talking
Not
Vanquishal, yeah. If we're going to see K9 topping, I think it's gonna be with Crystron and Solfacor potentially. Is there any other deck? Orcast maybe?
Yeah, but it does what Yami does, but worse. So it's irrelevant. It just has access to Impulse.
Yeah, by the way, one Oro is full Yami combo. Do you know that?
No, but I mean, the rank 5 engine is too broken. It does everything.
Like, you can end on both. You can end on both. You can end on Reaper plus Yami combo.
Yeah, seems legit. Like, it's they are two unrestricted cards. But the problem is with those kind of decks, it's to wombo combo. They take too long and they play horribly into like the Charmis, which Dracotail plays phenomenally well. Like,
yeah, that's what I like about the pure Dracotail is that it plays very very well into the Charmis.
All Charmis.
Yeah, all Charmis.
There's like even Fuga, if you go into Charmy, you give like 2 draws and you have your full end board.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, and depending on your hand, you can even give less depending on your hand. But yeah, I think speaking for the Dracotail players, I think you should prepare more for a bit of mid-range matchups like the Apophis. At least have a plan for them and Lunalite, because even under draw they can do full combo. And as far as I see from this list, they do not have an out. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see one. Obviously, Lancia can shut them down pretty well. Meowth is good for them. We see also Retaliating Sea in Dracotail in this list. And Retaliating Sea with a Contact Sea, meaning if that goes to the graveyard, you can add Contact Sea. Do you think this is for Mitsuyami or Mitsu in general?
Not really, because Contact Sea is like, sure, whatever. They don't really care that much about it. They can play around it, they can play for it. So it's not that crazy. I think it's mostly for the mirror, because they were expecting a lot of mirrors, and they were like if you have this, you just normal summon Lucius afterwards, make cross ship. So you out both your Floodgate, you turn skip your opponent, he kills his resources, and you just combo off like usual.
Yeah. I don't know what I want to play. I'm either playing Retaliating Sea or Droplet. I'm not sure though. I think Droplet is pretty good into the mirror match.
It's decent. You need to have the cards to send, and sometimes if you're in resource intense games, you may not have them. It's not like you add back like Cartesian High Spirits in the end phase like branded. So it's like,
yeah,
you have to already be playing and winning in order to have the discard advantage that you get with traps.
But Droplet is a better card going second as a 6th card, and against Yami you can send off your spells for Herald, so it kind of does the same thing for with Fallen Virtues. Obviously it's not the same, but it can force a lot of interruptions, and against Apophis cards that Yami might be playing. I don't know if they were playing it, if we had a pure Yami build. Okay, we didn't. We only had Mitsu Yami and one Solfa. So we see
I mean,
definitely.
Solfa is pretty much too pure.
Yeah, we see definitely Yami with a lot of Mitsurugis. I see Dark Ruler in the main deck on a lot of these lists. I guess it's for the mirror match.
Yeah, it's for the Mitsuyami matchup because the N-board is like too much at times.
And now I see that they are also playing the trap card and droplet. Like Lucas Sacco was playing droplet, Dark Ruler, and the trap card. A lot of bricks, in my opinion. A lot of bricks in a deck that when it loses to itself.
Yeah, it's
But a less
but
amount of Mitsurugis. A less
yeah,
amount.
that's what I was gonna say. He played the small Mitsurugi package, which is fine.
Yeah. Zombie Vampire is crazy.
I mean, it can be whatever. It can be a tragedy, and tragedy is a body to be a link one.
That actually has happened to you a couple of times.
Yeah.
We see one Vanquishal in the top 32 going into top 16. Two pure Mitsus, only one proceeded to go. 4 Malice, which I'm really surprised that more Malice stopped than Vanquishal, than Yami. Obviously, I'm meaning for pure Yami. Than Mitsu, than Crestron.
I mean, if you have a fissure, you just shut down every deck that you just mentioned apart from Mitsu Pure.
Yeah, so here is a
So it's
question. Do you think a deck that like Dracotail should be playing back removal?
I mean, it always depends on if you have a spell heavy or a monster heavy hand, right? If you play the brand package and the heavy brand package, you don't care so much about the spell trap removal because you have the quick play to chain it. But in contrast, if you play the small one and you have like 3 Rahu, 3 Ketu,
You can't use Fallen versus under Fissure.
oh, you mean under fissure?
Yeah.
I thought you meant in general. No, under fissure, it's rough, and that's the case, right? That people were basically playing for that. They were trying to stop their opponent from doing that. But I think also when your opponent activates a fissure, you can just, if you have 5 mana, you chain 5 mana. You hope that you have Urbula, so you pop it, so it never actually stays there. So you get all of your advantage and benefits right from the beginning. But then it's also a game 2, game 3 card. So your siding goes in. Theoretically, you should be playing the spell trap removal, but it's just bad in the other matchups. And that's the problem. It's that every deck is so different on how it gets stopped from the others that there is no common direction that the format is going. Like you have for the main deck, for example, Nib. Nib is horrible versus Dracotail, the most represented deck of the format, but it's good versus Yami, for example, versus Mitsu Yami, versus K9, versus Vanquishal, versus the Solfa Cord Yami deck. So you have the cards that are good versus the other decks, but at the same time it's bad in the mirror. You have a ruler for the Yami Mitsu, which is terrible versus every matchup out there except for the Yami Mitsu matchup. So it's like the format is weird. It's too diverse, I think. And decks that usually want to streamline a little bit more and focus on one deck will struggle a lot.
Yeah, so you are kinda flipping a coin going into that Wesses because you are either preparing for Mitsu, Yami, or you're playing against Dracotail, and you can't build for both. It's impossible. We see Aditya here playing Droll and Nibiru, and I guess Magnum, which is not the greatest against the pure Dracotail. Obviously now with Brand it's just a bit better. But yeah, it's rough, man. Like half of these hand traps are useless against Dracotail, and yeah, I don't know.
And like the excuse that, oh, I'm just gonna use them as material. How many are you gonna use as material?
Yeah.
It can't be like your whole hand is used as material every game. Like you need cards to stop your opponent. Like just a 5 mana with one name and 3 hand traps will not be enough if you have like 2 Droll and 1 Nibiru. It will not be enough versus the mirror.
Yeah,
And that's the problem is that
I'd rather fuse with an Urgula than a Droll against the mirror match, to be honest.
yeah. So I think we're gonna see heavier engine maybe. And since most people will not prepare for the Yami Mitsu, I think so much. Like they saw it, but they saw that it didn't convert, so they will switch more to Dracotail. And Dracotail will lose more to Dracotail with more engine. Like without the Nibiru, without the Drolls. Heavier branded package. So better going second, better push. So I think that's the direction that I will see Dracotail be played right now.
Yeah, I definitely think these Drolls are gonna turn into Veilers for Dragontail players. For YSS Bologna. Um, I don't know what these people are gonna do for, and if they are gonna prepare for more mid-range matchups, like I mentioned previously. In all fairness, I don't think they will, and that's why I think decks are gonna be a bit of a surprise for that YCS. I think no one was surprised for Pittsburgh that Dragontail did that well, um, because a lot of people are not prepared for it that well. And but what I am surprised about is that um, people did play a lot of Dragontail hate, and Dragontail still managed to do that well. Like here, obviously the topping lists topped for maybe that reason because they played Dragontail hate, but they didn't. Um, they weren't the most amount of tops in the top cut, if you know what I mean. Yes, they did top, but how many of the people not topping used the same techs? I would assume like at least 100 people. Like, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's always like luck and stuff like that. Like, there's at some point, you in order to win, you need to not be unlucky. If you open every hand in every game like 3 traps, you're losing. Doesn't matter. Even if you're the greatest player ever, you're losing. But if you open in every hand As Fuga, 5 mana, and Pan Lucias, it's like no one is stopping you, right?
Thank you.
You're just winning. You're just better than the rest, no matter what.
Was that
And I
personal?
think that it's not about our game, but I mean, if you think about YCS Lille, the guy at the top 4 that was playing versus the stand player, he in the previous match versus Yami, in order to win, the Yami player had like talents called by Fuga, called by Ash, called by for like Fuga and Ash, and then he had like after a lot of combos, he had like 5 mana, name and Nibiru, and just took the whole life of the Yami player. Like you need to have this at some point of the event. You need to be on the lucky side instead of the unlucky side.
Yeah, let's
And
hope. Let's
that's
hope for that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's something that you also need, because like you can go to a YCS and you can all be playing Dragontail mirrors, and your deck would be prepared for Dragontail mirrors, and you would be like slamming them, you would be like winning them left and right. But if you just was playing versus one Yami Mitsu and you played another one afterwards, you would be like out of the tournament. So it's weird.
One last thing.
There's a lot of luck.
Yeah, one last
Yeah.
thing I want to mention is the state of Branded itself, like Branded Despia. I was really surprised to not see Branded player topping. Obviously, this also comes down to skill. Now, obviously, a lot of people picked up the deck after the structure deck support and they did not play Branded previously. So I guess that counts. But Branded itself, I think it's in a very good state to top right now.
I mean, you can top. It's hard though, right? Because the Dracotail matchup is just very, very strong.
I think if any deck can adjust its build according to the meta, especially against now Dracotail, I think that's Branded because Brand does have a lot of space for good board breakers to help into the matchup. And
Yes, but at some point you're gonna be outlacked or outbadlacked because branded carries much more many bricks compared to the other decks, and when you're getting hit by Sting, Flame, Ass, Bell, like look at this deck list. If everything that he has inside hurts, the only thing that doesn't hurt is like Fuga if he goes first. Like everything else, you're gonna be hit with every other hand trap. You're gonna be hit with Nibiru, you're gonna be hit with Troll, especially with board breaking. You're gonna be adding a lot. Bell is gonna hurt. Ass is gonna hurt. The quick play Diddy Crow from the grave that draws one card, which is busted for no reason. Flame again, same reason. Like, yes, you can deck build around that, but at what point I will be? At some point, I will be just losing to Yamimitsu and to random decks. Like, if my opponent like obviously it's I wrote it somewhere on one group chat on Facebook. Like if you have Droplet and Super Poly and you have to choose between the two, Super Poly is perfect versus every matchup out there, apart from Dracotail, which is the most played deck. So you have like your most core non-engine card do nothing versus the most represented deck, and you also have your Fugalos, which is again a crucial card for you. Do nothing. It's an upstart at best, or you get knowledge of Aspilosum in the hand. Like in both cases, you're losing, right? So it's like, how do you approach this? How do you win this? You cannot really. Like, topping the event with branded is very difficult right now.
he's
And
he's
that will
just saying
change.
that he's just saying that in case he tops.
No, I'm saying that because I truly believe that. And like, you cannot lock and catch people off guard. They have vouched for that. You cannot like you can outplay them, but even the other problem is that the Dracotail matchup has non-light dark monsters on field. Like every monster is like wind, earth, bullshit, water, and those are like so bad because you cannot Albaz effect, you cannot super poly them, you cannot. You lose the ability to take away monsters and make impactful cards, and the actual monsters on the field are useless. So if I have to waste Albaz and a discard to make a Mirror Jade and I just take away an Arthalion, I didn't do anything. I just took away a random body that had no value. So it was like there's it's not so much about that. And deck building and main decking like Droplet, for example, yes, okay, you're gonna have a better matchup versus Dracotail, sure. What about the rest? Because Malice is on the. We saw Malice, it had 10% representation. We saw Yami has big representation. Like Droplet versus Yami is like suicide. I got a Droplet for monsters under Herald. I need to have like very specific hands. And going Droplet and sending cards versus, for example, a Mitsu board is also bad. I'm already starting with 6 cards. 5 because Murakumo has a discard 1. Droplet is the 4th one. And I have to send 1 for a Droplet. So I have 3 cards. And with 3 cards I have to beat the Raigeki, the Negate, a Hand Trap, and the Board Web. It ain't happening. And the Trap. It's not. It's too much. And that's the problem right now with Branded. It's that the other decks around it are not well built to facilitate the Branded build. And also it's difficult to play Branded at a good level. We saw that already.
Yeah, but isn't it easier for Branded if you like the Mitsuyami matchup is not that bad, realistically. You have a lot of ways to destroy their field. Super Pole is the best of them, obviously. Fallen Virtues, Darkler Droplet are very good as well if you play Droplet. So isn't it a good choice if you pick that deck and going into game 1 you know that you're gonna beat even going second the Yami matchup? Because the Yami matchup, Yami Mitsu does not play that many hand traps. So you will be most likely free to resolve your combo. which is unbreakable. And then going into game 2 and 3, if you're playing against Dracotail, assuming you lose the first game, if you didn't go first, then you can have a side deck specifically for that deck, like 9 cards for that deck, or 12 maybe. I think branded is a deck that can
That's
do
what
that.
I'm doing right now. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm testing right now. I have like my side deck is like 3 Meowls, which is good versus Yami Mitsu, and there's like 2 cards for going first, and another 10 which are just for Dracotail. So that I have a viable chance of opening like 1 or 2 of these alongside with other already existing cards in the main deck in order to play around the traps. But at some point this will not be enough, and that's the issue, because it's different to draw 1 to 2 of these cards in 50 than to draw 1 of these cards in 41 and less, because you also draw another 3 in the next turn. So it's weird. It's a bad matchup. Like, if the opponent knows what he's doing, you should not be winning. The branded, I mean. If the opponent doesn't know what he's doing, yeah, okay, sure, you have a chance.
Yeah.
Because as you said earlier, it's like very low ceiling deck. Like very low floor. It has high floor, low ceiling. It's easy to.
You mean the opposite? The opposite. High ceiling, low floor. Dracotail is easy to pilot.
It's easy to pilot. It's
hard to master. It's hard to master.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, while branded, but for the common people, for the common players, I mean, it's hard to pilot and even harder to master.
But I mean, if you buy the master class, you can actually master it. I'm just saying. There's so many people that already bought it and they feel so happy. And oh wait, I have a coaching session in a bit. No cap, I forgot about.
Nice coach. Yeah, so those are the things that I want to talk to today. Does anyone in the chat have an opinion about these things? Like, do you agree, disagree? How do you feel the meta is gonna change this current week and the next week that is the YCS? Obviously, I will get a good idea of what the majority is playing in the side events. See the matchup a bit. It did help me last year at Bologna, seeing the matchup and stuff. So yeah, what do the rest of people think? Here is the big pause. And until someone comments, I am just gonna close this. By the way, I don't really like Aditya's list. Best deck, you shut the fuck up.
Best deck.
Yeah, Dracotail. Also, I do believe Fenrir is gonna be super popular for Dracotails now that the focus is on that deck. A lot of people are not playing 3 of these, they're just playing maybe 2. Although now that I see the topping lists, apart from the pure one and the top 32s, every guy in top 8 and above played Fenrir. What the fuck am I seeing? Kanan on the side deck. Alright, okay. But yeah, a lot of people I see actually they're not playing Fenrir. Some people do, some people just don't. I think if you're playing Dracotail in Bologna, you should definitely play Fenrir. Definitely. Just for the redundancy. You need to have an answer. My deck does have an answer, even in the main deck actually. But yeah. We'll see how my version is gonna go. I hope it does well. I spent a lot of time and effort into it. But we will see. So yeah, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. And next couple of videos are gonna be after YSS Bologna. Do you think I should do a vlog at Bologna?
Nah, it's
Mm.
too much. Just enjoy
Yeah, just
the
enjoy the
Italian
event.
scene. Yeah.
And let's hope we play on stream at least if I don't top, so we have something to talk about later. And let's hope it doesn't go like my last feature match. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and see you after Bologna.